In this video, we will be attaching the elevating multi-link arm to the evaluation stand. If you need guidance on setting up the evaluation stand, please see our video on the Jaeco evaluation stand setup to ensure that your wheelchair evaluation stand looks like the one pictured to the right here. Here's a close-up of the top layer of the evaluation kit's case. You'll notice the 3 wheelchair mounts, the mount relocator, and the relocator shaft that we will leave in place since we're not doing a wheelchair mount. Since we're not doing the table clamp mount either, we'll also leave the longer table clamp proximal rod in place. The only items we'll need from this layer to attach our elevating arm to the evaluation stand are the shorter proximal arm and collar and the 5/32 hex wrench. Here's a close-up of the bottom layer of the evaluation kit's case. You'll notice the standard multi-link on the left, which does not include elevation assist. We will not be using that today, so we will leave it in the case, though it attaches in a similar fashion. We are also leaving the table clamp, as we are attaching to the wheelchair evaluation stand today. From this layer, you will need the Jaeco Rancho mount, the offset swivel, the forearm support with slide, also known as the forearm trough, and the multi-link arm with elevation. I'm going to attach my Jaeco Rancho mount to the blue pole here. When I attach it, I want this part attached to the rod. This knob I'm going to face towards the back, and this knob I'm going to face towards the right side for a right-sided mount. I've got my 5/32 wrench so that I can open up that clamp a little bit and make room to go onto that pole. Section 1, page 1 of your manual shows a close-up of all the parts of the Jaeco Rancho mount. We're loosening these screws just enough to open the jaw clamp to attach to the pole. Through the magic of movies, we're going to fast forward through some of this so you can see it attached. In this clip, you will see that I am attaching the jaw clamp to the mounting pole by tightening those same screws back up using my 5/32 hex wrench. I'm then loosening the lock knob so that I can adjust the scroll wheels to a plumb position so that the mounting hole that my proximal rod is going to go into is vertical and true. Then I tighten those lock knobs back in place once I have those scroll wheels in a good position. Here I've got my Jaeco Rancho mount attached to that blue pole. Now I've got my hole for my proximal arm, which has 2 stoppers, which my collar can bump against to stop rotation. I'm going to go ahead and put my proximal rod inside this slot here. You can see that collar makes it a little low. I need to raise it or lower that collar, so I've got a nice stand for that to go on. Here's a close-up. You'll loosen the collar using the small screw to slide the collar down the proximal rod's shaft, tightening it in place when you have enough room to place the multi-link arm over the top. You could adjust the height as needed. Once you have this in place, you are ready for our next video on attaching the multi-link arm to the proximal rod. Thanks for watching. Check out the next video in the series for our next steps.